Could you tell
Yeah.
them how you found out about Yield School?
Yeah, actually, I found your video, and one of the frustrations I've had because I've had some exposure and never became a paid subscriber. I think there was I think there was a anyway. Long story short, with this person, he's fairly well known in crypto circles, and and I found it. Um, Not super useful. It's like the person can give you a fish and tell you what to do, and there's some useful information that comes your way too. That if you're thinking, you can piece things together and have a better idea on the whole entire crypto space. However, um, I never was introduced to the primary markets, and it would trouble me when somebody's advertising something and say that, back in the day, Neo went up, like, 17,000% or whatever it was, and some other thing went up, and in the meantime, uh, Neo was traveling sideways because nobody's really caring about it. I'm talking, this is rewind back into the 18, 19, and 20. And so a lot of these, obviously, after listening to you, I go, this makes sense now. Um, all these were snagged from primary markets when there was a potential of making, 10x, 100x, 500x, and if you're buying it on Binance or Kraken or something like that, it's like, forget it. I mean, you might increase your portfolio, but you're not going to do that type of you're not going to see that type of gains. And so, to me, it answered the question on why, um, following the advice of some of these guys, you can only go so far, and you need to actually have not only the awareness of the primary markets, but also the tools on how to access it and what to do with it, and so that you're not scammed, and because it's like an entirely different ecosystem if all you've ever done was trading the secondary exchanges, and that's all I'd really had any exposure to. I'd probably had Binance and whatever, I mean, there were some
Coinbase
of the small
Kraken.
ones. Yeah, I didn't even have Kraken back then. I had Binance, and and then some of the smaller ones that have sort of dwindled, Hit BC and Hit BTC and Huobi and some of these others. They're sort of like emerging, but they're still secondary, and they may have a few options that Binance didn't have. But so anyway, I discovered a whole different world that was necessary through your videos, really.
Fantastic. So the
Yeah.
problem you were trying to solve before Yield School, what was that problem exactly?
The problem was maybe uh, one thing's a guide, even a guidance issue, because you can even be on secondary exchanges, and the smorgasbord of crypto assets that are out there. I mean, you don't want to flip a coin and just listen to talking heads or some kind of a. My dad used to be a stockbroker before he retired, and so one thing he always told me was these people that are talking on the media, they're not, or even talking to a stockbroker, because he was in the most prestigious brokerage firm in Toronto, and so he said that, generally speaking, they're not looking out for your best interest. There's other things involved, and so it's a matter of, you can follow somebody's lead, somebody else's lead. You can try to piece things together, but it's a lot of hit and miss. And then, not even to mention the fact that you're not even accessing things far enough back into the primary markets to really move the needle as far as your investments.
Right. And so how did Yield School help you solve that problem?
So, number one, it gave me access, but also the confidence. With it's very, very well spelled out. Let's say, everything from your web page to the associate that I talk. I mean, it's very thorough. I mean, uh, the Raphael he's been just absolutely tremendous, just absolutely fantastic. In fact, Martin, that got me on board to begin with, I was talking with him in Holland. I mean, he was the one that basically chased me down because I was too busy to really finally make a decision to join. And but he would answer questions, and he was super. And so ultimately, it's given me the ability to really understand the ecosystem and the markets the way that I need to. And to be truthful about it, there's so much material there. I keep on discovering. I mean, in the beginning, I thought I located the basic instruction. Then I'm finding more things, and so I'm doing my best to go through it all. And I learned probably more in the first several hours of watching those than I really knew. Uh, After being involved for a few years on my own, just reading crypto web pages and whatnot. So it's been a real eye opener.
Right. And I think you've done a quite good job. I was speaking with Raph, your associate, about
Yeah,
this, and he was telling me that you've had wins, you've had gains in your portfolio. Could you share some of the successes that you've had?
yeah. And I probably have to start with a real pivotal something that if if you guys wouldn't have enabled me to join with Bitcoin, I probably would not be in position to join Yield School, for anywhere in the near future. But just because we're sort of we're over leveraged in different directions financially, and um, so I had to talk my wife into it. I said, "This is going to cost more than we're prepared to pay, but the good thing is we can pay in Bitcoin." And I told her, and the way that I looked at it, it's either I pay now or I pay later, because pay and join where I can actually get some accurate information to where number one, I'm actually led into the things that I should do. And I told my wife, I said that, listen, through the hit and miss process, I'll probably gamble away
Yeah.
that amount of money anyway. So it's going to be probably lost. It might not be lost, but it likely will be lost. You might as well just get on board. I will make that amount of money up very, very shortly. And basically, the long story short with that is the money that we put in, we've already made it up.
Yeah.
A couple days ago, I just noticed, yeah, we're good. I think this has been a slight pullback in the last couple of days, but yeah, we've made the money up, and a few of the investments, basically we've doubled the uh, we're basically 200x or more. Actually, I think a couple of them are somewhere between 2 and 300x. I mean, just really over the last one of them probably 3 weeks, and the other one going back maybe more like 5 weeks, I guess. We haven't been in this very long, um, so and
And that's
and
fantastic.
the only thing that I would have wanted is to actually have more money allocated. The position sizing, you got to spread it out a bit, and you don't necessarily know what's gonna hit quick and then what's gonna come later. So anyway, that's
How
yeah.
how has the experience with Raph been? I was really pleased when we got Raph on our team as an associate, because he used to build protocols for other
Yeah.
teams, and some of the protocols he built got hundreds of millions of dollars worth of crypto assets within them, and he used to run a small fund on the side, and so he was a very well-rounded person, crypto native in the space, and so when he joined our team, I was very grateful and very pleased, and he's been, I think, very good for our brand and our company. How has your experience with him been as your associate?
Really, really elated, honestly. Um, when Martin got me onboarded, he mentioned, um, I think you're going to really like who you're connected with, and I'm not sure if it was his responsibility or whose it was to connect me with Raphael, but I'm very grateful. And he's see again when I say one of the real beauty with you guys, as well as obviously what you're doing. You guys, it's a honed machine, as far as how you guys run it and the excellence and everything. But the all the people that have come in contact, everything from the chats, to solve a little issue, yeah, the help, yeah, or whether it's Raphael. I mean, super personable, and so Raphael has been amazing. Really, he's given me some really great leads and explained, let's say, the rationale in the whole modus operandi too, in a way where I'm really well pleased that we're building a portfolio that this is going somewhere, and so yeah, I've been just really pleased with it. There's and Yeah, uh, he's been tremendous. Um, excellent as a person, and super knowledgeable. And sometimes you can listen to two knowledgeable people, and one person, but you through some intangibles, you can just tell that the one person, they may both say essentially the same thing, but one person, you can tell that their depth of resource, and their knowledge of what they're talking about is on another level than the other guy. Both essentially saying the same things, and you can tell that. And so even without knowing that, see, I didn't know that he actually built protocols. I knew that he had a crypto business of some kind. That's all I knew. And I'm not a techie kind of a guy myself, but it's obvious when I listen to him. He knows what he's talking about, and it's all panned out really well. All of his help. So.
How about the tech support where you click a button and then a chat comes up so you can talk to our team so that they can help you with anything that you're doing in the market? Have you used that much? And if so, how has that been?
Yeah, I have used that, and I, I'm trying to sort of pull back in my memory what exactly the issue was. There was a bit of a complicated issue we're trying to solve. I think. Oh, this is it. Um, I have my VPN on my phone, and I've got Linux. My son's a programmer, and he sort of steered me toward Linux, as far as the operating system on my laptop. And somehow there was a glitch to where I was trying to get onto Hyperliquid, and there was some kind of uh, uh, you know I needed help navigating a couple of things that were probably the interface was a little bit too skimpy on the phone. It would have been better on a computer.
Mm.
But anyway, they helped navigate me through that, and everything was fine. I was able to make the purchases and all this. And I really need to get my computer, set up properly, because even right now I'm talking on a phone, and same thing with Raphael. I need to rectify that.
Yeah.
So
It honestly, when you're playing around with such important assets that can make you so much money over a short period of time, I do think it's worth the investment just to make sure that your computer setup is good, just so that
yeah,
my dad was a mechanic, and so
yeah,
he was always very insistent on like the right tools. You make the job exponentially easier if you have the right tools. But
yeah, yeah.
yeah, that digression aside, um, you know, uh, people often think of us as a scam, like this service as a scam. What would you tell to someone who was in your shoes before and then considering, is this something I should do? Is it legitimate? Will this help me in my crypto portfolio?
Well, I think for myself, um, having seen a lot of things, not even looking for things, but they sort of, a lot of these on Instagram and stuff, they slap you in the face. There's so many different people offering different things, and um, I've become a fairly good judge of character just because of my business. You're dealing with people, you're dealing with a lot of really strange situations. Uh, you're dealing with bipolar people. You're dealing with extremely intelligent people and people that are well balanced. You're dealing with the whole gamut. And the first thing that I mean, it's just like the feel of what I was listening to. It felt different to me. And let's say from a overt, let's say a tangible, the fact that it's run by a regulatory lawyer, one that has the experience in because I mean that was one thing that was that caught my attention years ago already. Just how important that one thing is, because I was seeing a lot of government regulatory. It seemed like it seemed like there were it influenced the markets a whole lot. And now you're dealing with somebody that runs a company that is offering help to navigate the crypto space, and he himself is a regulatory lawyer. To me, that basically put you automatically into a whole different realm. Number one, nobody's gonna damage their, you got a doctor of jurisprudence. You're not gonna, number one, there's a lot of discipline and years that have gone in there that basically, that shape you, but you're not gonna throw away reputation and everything, just to, come up with some kind of a scam that'll just, rent somebody out of a little bit of extra money, and just the, I mean, to me, it wasn't like a pressure tactic. It was, like you said yourself, give me whatever it was, 30 seconds of your time, and at that point, you can tell when you're listening to something legit. I mean, I feel like I can. Uh, Sometimes you wonder, but in this case, there was no wondering.
Mm, mm.
Yeah.
I'm glad you gave us a chance. I hope we've done well. Would you recommend Yield School?
Wholeheartedly. And if it's standard modus operandi that somebody can actually onboard using Bitcoin, I would say to that person, you've got nothing to lose. It's like I told my wife, it's either I go that money out now, and develop the tools, because you go to some tech school, let's say, or any university, and one semester is going to cost you over that anyway, and that's not going to help you for the rest of your life navigate an ever-changing crypto space. And so for me, looking at this was like an absolute no-brainer. It's, I mean, it's a nascent field in a, if you're looking at it. I mean, the crypto hasn't been around. I mean, Bitcoin itself, '09. I mean, this is like fairly new. There's a lot of things changing. The way that the let's say institutional money's coming in. There's a lot of changes taking place. On a lot of levels. And so for me, um, it was a no-brainer spending a little bit of money that would be like insurance money, to number one, that I wouldn't make a bunch of stupid mistakes and lose
Mm.
that same amount of money, and still be just as dumb as I was, uh, before I made the mistakes. You know what I mean?
Mm.
And
Yeah.
and on the other hand, I look at it as a schooling, that gee was, for that amount of money, for less than the price of a semester in a community college, or a tech school or university, I can actually get set, not only with the tools to develop a good crypto portfolio, manage it, and increase it, but also have the connection that this goes on. It's not just like a year's subscription, but this goes on for years, and it goes on and on, to where whatever changes, whatever things, you guys have your ears to the railroad tracks, so to speak, in a way that nobody like us could do it, unless we spent all of our waking hours doing it. And even then, we would not be able to match what a team like you could do. So to me, it's like the ultimate no-brainer, because the schooling is the one thing, but then having the mentorship, then having people that basically are they're doing this for a living. You've got a team of people that are doing this for a living, and there's no way that I could do what you do, and I've got you guys at the wheel, and I'm on a bus being navigated by people that know what they're doing. I mean, there's a lot of peace in that. You can go to bed, not wondering, like, if there's some unforeseen thing that comes, you guys will already have seen it ahead of time, or even if it comes suddenly, you'll know immediately what to do with it. Whereas somebody like myself, without that, you could just lose sleep, and you're wondering, should I sell? Should I dump a lot of this, or should I go this way? Should I go that way? Because there's a myriad of things you can do. So anyway, all that to say that there's a lot of peace in this, and to me, it's like an ultimate no-brainer of a choice, and especially if you can pay with crypto, because I mean, it's just part of the investment.